One of the big struggles in customer relationships is the I know sometimes I'm this customer, right? It's the customer that's just difficult. I mean, maybe sometimes I think I'm right to be difficult, but like, what's your advice for dealing with customers who are just maybe overly demanding or overly reactive?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the challenges that a lot of service practitioners or customer service front-facing customers, they always have the same challenge. What can I do? Right? I'm faced with this difficult customer. What should I do? And one of the greatest discovery that I've actually made is when I was exposed to the 6 seconds model called the know yourself, choose yourself, and give yourself.
I've heard that before.
Yes, very familiar. It's very familiar. And one of the greatest competency that I've discovered through the process is this thing called recognizing patterns.
Right.
Right. So as a service practitioner, when you're faced with a difficult customers, what kind of patterns comes out automatically?
For me and also for them.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Do you run away? Do you kind of like shut yourself up? Or you kind of sometimes just respond back, and say, hey, that's your problem. I'm here just to work. And just have that ability to have a higher sense of, understanding what makes you do the things that you do, the things that makes you feel. How do you respond? Just having that, put yourself out of the situation. You know that has happened. What would you do differently? Right?
Sure. So kind of like seeing yourself, and maybe before you get into your usual pattern.
Yes, right.
When it's still just a small reaction, it's a lot easier to handle.
Absolutely. And that higher awareness will better help you manage the other key competencies, which is called navigating emotions.
Yeah.
Right, because many a times, especially in Asia, I would say, many people tend to oppress or suppress their emotions. They kind of like take it in, and just like a sponge, there's just a max level, right?
It's going to overflow.
And it's going to overflow and explode, and sometimes it explodes at the wrong time.
Right.
Sometimes at the customers.
Yeah.
And the customers are
in
just
front of the customers.
in front of the customers worse still, right? And that is really one of the biggest things that a customer service ambassadors can actually appreciate.
CS failure.
So kind of like recognize the patterns and how can you navigate, right? Just taking note. If that is the approach that you've been having, how can I do it differently?
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes I also feel like if you can turn it into almost a game of like, all right, I'm going to make this person's day better. I know that they just, obviously they had a bad day or they wouldn't be acting this way. And like, can I make it? What's going to work? And that pushes me to be creative.
That's right. One of the things I've often shared with people is like that, as a person, when you reach out to a person, when you smile at someone and someone does not smile back at you, how would you feel?
Rejected.
Rejected, right? So I'm going to share a perspective with you. Now, imagine in the future when you smile at someone and someone gives you a smile back. Take that as a bonus. Okay, that's
nice.
A bonus. You get a nice bonus. Now, for whatever reasons, you give a great smile and that person does not give a smile back to you. Take it as your gift to that person.
That's
mean,
sweet.
when you're having a high sense of optimism, of just giving up freely a gift to someone, do you expect something to come back? I mean, if it does, it's a bonus.
Right.
If not, it's your way of saying, hey, I appreciate you, I care for you. I'm not sure what circumstances you're going through, but
fellow human being.
Fellow human being.
Yeah.
And when you have that sense of just giving, optimism, perspective change.
Yeah.
Right? And
that's beautiful.
Yeah, you're a great way of even building even more effective opportunities.
Excellent.